So I was thinking.
Uh-oh.
So despite my wide frame, my favorite sport always has been, always will be basketball.
Yes, sir.
So I was doing a little research. I was high.
Okay.
And I was doing a little research because, you be thinking about stuff. And I was like, all-time leaders in this and that. So check this out. So in the NBA, the all-time scoring, they had to write this down too, was Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, 38,387 points. Assists, John Stockton, 15,806 assists. Rebounds, Wilt Chamberlain, 23,924, and then block shots, Hakeem Olajuwon, 3,830. That's the NBA all-time leaders in the major categories. So I thought about my own NBA called the No Bullshit Association. Okay? So in my NBA, okay, the all-time leader in scoring isn't Kareem, it's Wilt Chamberlain. Okay, because they said Wilt in his book, he said he slept with over 50,000 women. Okay, he was scoring like a mug. All right, so now I don't know what officially Wilt died of, but I think it was exhaustion. It was sperm depletion. He was out. Okay, and got no nuts left. Now, the all-time leader in my NBA in assists is not one person; it's a group. It's the wingmen. Okay, so for y'all to, well, if you don't know this, whatever, I'm gonna help you. The wingman is the homeboy that goes and jumps on the grenade for his boy so he could get action.
How's that L?
Yes. So say you out, ladies, and you have your handsome friend with you, right? And I have to go occupy your handsome friend while Rennie gets action with you. I am a wingman, and that is an assist. Okay, when it comes to that, I'm Magic Johnson level in assisting. Okay, now, the all-time leader in rebounds, okay, is what I like to call the emergency dude. Okay, he's the fire extinguisher. It always sits in the corner in the glass. You don't break it unless it's an emergency. So who is the dude? He's the homeboy that's got all the girlfriends that he ain't messing with, but he's just around. So when I break your heart, in case of emergency, break glass. He gonna catch you on the rebound. Okay, that's the only way he getting laid. Okay, so a little fire extinguisher cat leads the NBA in rebounds, but the last one who leads the league in block shots is your homegirl. That same homegirl from the assist category is at every bar, restaurant, lounge, club, family barbecue, bar mitzvah, quinceañera, pop-up, okay? She's at every opening and closing, standing next to you, stopping your action. You meet a girl, you vibing, you talking, and oh, here come old Hakeem. You know, she gonna block that shot. Oh, it's time for us to go. I was like, if you don't get your handsome ass away from us right now, okay? So the league leader in block shots is Keisha. Sorry if your name is Keisha, that's just the name I gave you, okay? Keisha has 3,847,204 5, 6 block shots.
And counting.
Some of these NBA niggas is on some sucker shit.
Wow. That was, yeah.
My boy wrote a whole thing on the glass dick syndrome. Talking about the in case of emergency break glass. Dr. Brian Brown, Stanford University.
That's what I'm saying. I've been watching these dudes for years. I'm like, oh man.
And it's that, don't be scared. Don't be scared. Like that state, don't be scared. You haven't given me any tools to not be scared.
That's a dumbass statement.
It is.
No,
And
be scared.
Yes.
And then address it.
Exactly. Exactly, because until you confront the fear, you can't overcome it.
Right.
So there's nothing in the dark, until somebody holds your hand, pulls you over to it as a child, and flicks the light on and says, man, there's nothing there. And then you go, oh, but who's triggering that light switch in your life other than yourself?
Yeah.
So you can't overcome it until you confront it. And if you've been told that you shouldn't fear it, how do you analyze it? How do you have an understanding of the nuance of fear? Because you've been conditioned constantly and told that you shouldn't be scared.
Well, another lie that we've been told, there's people, well, I'm grown. Okay. In your scenario, the kid needs the parent to flip the light switch and give counsel. Well, just because you're grown doesn't mean you don't have counsel anymore.
Right.
Now, in a perfect world, you can flip your own light switch. But there are times when, just like you said, your friend needs to remind you, hey man, you a good dude. Mm-hmm. I've had to be reminded. Hey, you a good, and I've also been reminded the opposite. My sister told me one day, she said, I love you, but I don't like you.
Yeah, hey.
And she was spot on, because I was tripping. But that's wise counsel. Right? And how many of us shun wise counsel, and then all we want is confirmation?
Out of fear of being told what we are.
Mm-hmm. Some of y'all niggas is preachers looking for a choir.
Yeah.
Wow. Hey, a man told me one time, and I won't say his name because people may know him. It's okay to be scared, but don't be afraid. So it's okay to have the butterflies. It's okay to recognize, but don't let that stop you. That's what I took from that.
Yeah.
So it was that nuance piece. It's like, and for years, I always thought about that anytime I got into a situation, from a roller coaster to standing in front of people talking. It was, okay, let me recognize that I am a little scared, but don't be afraid. I ain't gonna die from this shit, right? So that helped me a lot on that nuance piece. Yeah.
Well, and you see this in the development of young men, or the lack of development of young men, because they think that bravado, they think that plastering over some of this stuff with aggressiveness, I'm not scared. They puff their chest out.
Like, shit, I'm scared.
Man, I'll put a pin in your chest. Okay, all that air is gonna come out. And, it's like, no, you should feel that. I feel it.
Yeah.
Right. But now what we're gonna do with it? We're gonna take that and we're gonna transform it, and we're gonna use that energy, and we're gonna overcome it. And then what you won't have to do after that is, it won't be hot air. You will develop the muscle memory to confront that fear over and over again. And now you're building up that muscle. It's an exercise. My fear was a girl named Latisha in elementary school at Wadsworth Avenue.
Oh.
She pressed me up against the bungalow and told me that I was her boyfriend.
Yeah.
Latisha was bigger than me, and I was her boyfriend. I became Latisha's boyfriend. She gave me a necklace with a charm. All right, I came home, my grandma was like, who gave you that necklace? I was like, Latisha did. So
Oh, she had planned that out.
yeah. And so, she just sit and watch me play basketball and everything. And hey, if you out there, Latisha, I don't remember your last name, but you punked me pretty good. And I told myself after that, I will never fear another woman, okay, in my life. So Latisha, thank you, okay, with your big ass. She was big as hell in elementary school.
Hey, it's funny you say that, because I was just talking to one of our Sans, and you talked to him too earlier this week. We got to check in and see how that went. And he brought up this specific, he was interviewing for another position in the job. And he brought up specifically, he said, listen, after the interview we had to get in this fraternity, he was like, there's nothing you can do to me. Right? So that action, that activity, I always think about, and I find these places and spaces where I think about how pledging a fraternity ends up being de facto rite of passage in some ways, right? Because there, we ain't gonna throw the baby out with the bathwater, but there are some specific things that happen, and the way they happen really does prepare you for life. We always say it's a microcosm. Everything you experience in that time frame is like a microcosm of life. And that interview shit, I was scared as shit, right? But on the other side of it, hell, going through that whole process, scared as shit. Always the night of what's gonna happen tonight, right? Well, fuck it, we're just gonna do it, right? And then you on the other side is like, we didn't die.
No, but you,
So what am I scared of?
no, but, okay, but think about how irrational fear makes you. Okay, all of us have experienced this. It's just a gang of women that's scared of like ants and a roach, a fly, and they'll see a little car and they'll flip out. And I'll be like, that roach scared of you. Right? They will jump on the couch, kill it, you know, and then, you know, you stomp on it, get the towel, throw it away. All right, you can get off the couch now, right? But that's the irrational fear.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you're talking about something that you don't know what's on the other side of it. I'm talking about something as simple as a small thing crawling on the ground that you can visually see, that you know that you're more powerful than, right? So how do they train the elephant at the circus? Well, when the elephant is small, they tie a rope around the elephant, boom, right? And when you go, you know, they don't do this no more because, you know, PETA done banned circuses and shit. But you would see an elephant with a rope tied around, let's call it an ankle, because I don't know what they call it, a foot, right? You know, and that elephant, with all its might, could snap that thing like a little twig and walk away. But it's been trained by fear and control. All you have to do is tie it, and they won't move.
Yeah.
We are a people that have been controlled by fear.
Yes.
And that's and now all they have to say are a few buzzwords to us and watch us spin. Right? Because that's all our fear.
Yep.
And they have you looking beyond your initial threat and what you should be fearful of in front of you, and saying that something on this other side here is going to comfort you. So don't sweat this right here. There's a real threat right here in front of you. You need to be confronted. And they're saying, no, man. No,
No, not that.
not that.
Be scared of that.
Yeah, right
that
there.
thing, that thing that ain't moving.
Yeah.
Now I got something for you guys, and this ties into manhood. As black men, we've been trained to be afraid of the very women that we're supposed to lead. How many brothers do we all know that are scared of women? That are scared of their woman?
I mean,
And that are operating in their relationships out of fear.
Shit, I did that.
just disguised as reverence, just disguised as respect. Oh, you don't want to say that. You
Honor.
can't do that. Yeah.
Honor,
And you know,
duty.
Men don't trifle with that kind of stuff right there, man. You know what I mean? Just man up. Just man up. Like, you know, that BS. You know, that part.
I can't say that to her.
Yeah.
Well, what's she gonna do? Shoot you?
That's all you
And
get.
if she is gonna shoot you, you definitely with the wrong one.
Exactly.
So you can leave Annie Oakley's ass alone.
You're fearing an emotional reaction.
Who knew you was dating Queen Latifah from Set It Off?
You know, we fear emotional reactions.
Yeah.
Yep.
Who cares? Who cares about an emotional reaction? Who cares? What is that going to do to you?
And that paralyzes our ability to lead.
Yeah.
Because we're afraid to disrupt.
And we also, growing up, we aren't seeing what that male leadership looks like. So we grow up in these homes and we don't witness what our leadership looks like, and then what does it translate to?
Well, there's a couple of things that's working, right? So, and one of you guys said it earlier, and it was the vulnerability piece, right? Love is vulnerability. Love is vulnerable. And so when we talk about the fear and the leading in our women, and it's like, what instances have we witnessed leadership and vulnerability? Right? Our our grandfathers, was no vulnerability in that leadership. They did it in certain ways where it might have been affectionate, like how you telling you like your pops come grab you, and he never said it.
Yeah.
But he showed it.
Yeah.
Right.
But the flip side of that is, at what point do we see leadership and vulnerability at the same time?
I saw a vacuum. So the more volatile the situation got, the more emotional the women got, the more my grandfather and my pops, they snatch that out of the room. They take it out. They go down. Like, they just go, and they stay the path. And I have an understanding of now that there's a way, that was their way of getting control of all that volatility of the emotion, because there was always more women around than men. And so that emotion was like fire, like you said, man, that would ignite one and tip their off, and they'd be like, oh, no. They'd step in there and absorb that emotion. Let's not get it twisted. It's not like they're not repelling it. They're absorbing it. They're steadying the ship. But then, what do they do with that when they take that on?
Mm-hmm.
Now they've taken that on. They've taken that emotion on, and then they have the understanding that they know what that little spark can do in that space. And then now they're working to run around and stomp out that spark, because they fear of what could happen in that room. And now they're carrying the burden of trying to keep that emotion quelled for all that time.
Emotion is great in the sprint, but it's terrible in the marathon.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's how my parents got divorced. My pops was like, moms go ballistic. Pops was, the more ballistic she got, the calmer he got. Right? The calmer he got, the more ballistic she got. Her word, not mine, right? She didn't use ballistic, but
That's part of why I got divorced.